nothing is off limits. They will go after you and your family, and everything is on the line when you decide to be a public servant and run. But I don't have no regret.
First of all, it's a bad joke. And I said she's just too politically not astute to realize that she's got the older guy with her. And then when she went, yes, I go over the edge.
Explain this to me, because I don't understand, but you do. So what's going on?
I think she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Joy Behar thought she could take a jab and walk away without consequence, until Karoline Leavitt turned the tables on her in a way no one saw coming. The heated exchange took...
We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Place on The View where Joy Behar attempted to undercut Leavitt, questioning her credentials and implying that her success had more to do with her appearance than her abilities. But rather than letting the insult slide, Leavitt struck back with poise, confidence, and a dose of reality that left Behar struggling to regain control. From the moment Behar made her snide remark, it was clear she expected Leavitt to fold under pressure. But Leavitt was more than prepared. With a composed demeanor, she laid out the truth. Her achievements were not handed to her. They were earned through relentless effort, extensive experience, and proven expertise. Leavitt wasted no time setting the record straight. She detailed her impressive political background, noting that she became the youngest White House press secretary in history. She spoke about her time handling high-pressure media relations, skillfully navigating the political arena, and proving herself in ways that few could match. Her response was measured.
No, she was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how has your approach differed, would you say?
I think it's vastly different. And if you ask people, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record.
I love how the media takes a few critics when the overwhelming response from the American people is support for what this administration is doing. If you look at the public polling, 70% of Americans, according to CBS, believe that President Trump is delivering on the promises he made. And there should be no secret about the fact that this administration is committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. The president campaigned on that promise. Americans elected him on that promise, and he's actually delivering on it.
Yet impactful, a testament to her professionalism. Then came the moment that flipped the entire conversation. Leavitt pointed out the blatant hypocrisy in Behar's argument. She noted that if a conservative commentator had dismissed a liberal woman's success as being based on looks, the outrage would have been immediate and overwhelming. She called out the double standard, highlighting how so-called champions of women's empowerment are quick to diminish women they politically disagree with. The studio fell into an awkward silence.
I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
I went a little bit over the edge today, so I corrected it in the moment and said that she was politically not very astute because she made a joke about how old Joe Biden is when she is with grandfather time.
I always have friends where I work, and if I don't have friends at the job, I will not keep the job. So when I was fired the last time from this show, people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
Many in the audience had expected Behar to dominate the discussion, but instead they witnessed her losing her grip on the narrative. Murmurs rippled through the crowd, followed by pockets of applause. It was one of those rare moments on The View where the guest outmaneuvered the hosts, leaving them grasping for a way to recover. Behar, usually quick with a sharp retort, was visibly caught off guard. Rather than delivering a swift comeback, she hesitated, stumbling through an attempt to pivot the discussion. But by then, the damage was already done. Leavitt had made her point crystal clear, and Behar had no effective counter. This wasn't the first time Joy Behar found herself embroiled in controversy over her remarks. She has a long history of making off-the-cuff comments that have sparked backlash, often dismissing conservative women in politics while claiming to champion women's rights. Back in 2008, she belittled Sarah Palin, branding her as unqualified. Years later, she took aim at Kayleigh McEnany, dismissing her extensive background in political communications. But her controversial remarks haven't been limited to politics. She has stirred outrage with comments on religion and race as well. Her infamous comparison of Christianity to mental illness during a discussion about then Vice President Mike Pence caused a firestorm.
I never worry about offending people who disagree with me politically. Too bad. I apparently offended John McCain and Cindy McCain when they were on the show, because after I asked him why he would say that he approved a message saying that Barack Obama believed that you should teach kindergartners, and I said, you know those are not true, you know those are lies. Why would you say that that you approve those messages?
And her admission that she once dressed as a beautiful African woman for Halloween led to accusations of racial insensitivity. Despite facing criticism time and again, she has remained a fixture on The View, a privilege not extended to many others in similar situations. However, this time felt different. When Behar attempted to undermine Leavitt's success, it wasn't just conservatives who noticed the hypocrisy. It struck a nerve across the board. A self-proclaimed advocate for women had just reduced another woman's career to her appearance, and she did it in front of a national audience. Social media wasted no time in reacting. The clip spread like wildfire, with viewers from all political backgrounds weighing in. Joy Behar just got schooled. That was brutal. She had no response. Completely outmatched. The View supports women, but only the ones they agree with. Even some of The View's usual supporters found Behar's remark indefensible. The irony of a show that preaches female empowerment while tearing down conservative women was not lost on them. Many pointed out the glaring double standard, questioning why such comments were tolerated when directed at right-leaning women but condemned when aimed at those on the left. Then came the calls for accountability. Some demanded an apology, arguing that if the roles were reversed, the backlash would have been swift and severe. Others simply enjoyed watching Behar finally face some well-deserved pushback. As the backlash intensified, ABC found itself in a tricky position. The viral moment wasn't just a personal embarrassment for Joy Behar. It was turning into a PR disaster for the network. Social media was ablaze with criticism, and the controversy was spilling over into mainstream discussions. According to sources, ABC executives were not pleased. While The View thrives on spirited debates and controversial moments, there's a fine line between compelling television and negative press that alienates viewers. This time, Behar's remarks didn't just irritate conservatives. They made even some of The View's core audience uncomfortable. And when a controversy begins to snowball into widespread backlash, networks take notice. Insiders suggest that ABC's top brass went into immediate damage control mode. Discussions reportedly centered around how to handle the situation. Should Behar issue an apology? Should The View address the controversy on air? Or should they remain silent and hope the outrage faded? What's interesting is the uncharacteristic silence from both Behar and ABC. Typically, when controversy strikes, there's some form of response. A clarification, a walkback, or at least an acknowledgement. But this time, there was nothing. No statement, no segment addressing the backlash. Just silence. But make no mistake, behind the scenes, tensions were brewing. Sources close to the network hinted at growing frustration with Behar's pattern of unfiltered remarks. While she brings in ratings, she also brings controversy. Controversy that advertisers may not want to be associated with for much longer. For now, ABC may be hoping the storm blows over. But one thing is certain, Joy Behar's unchecked commentary is no longer just sparking social media debates. It's causing real headaches for the network keeping her on the air. The question now is, will this be the moment that finally forces The View to rein in Joy Behar? Or will this be yet another controversy that fades into the background? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for more updates.